Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Lattafa's Niche Emarati Khanjar. All right, so Khanjar is from the house of Lattafa. It's from their Niche Emarati line. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and I picked this bad boy up for $55 at Perfume Online. Link will be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have a coupon code. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Perfume Online if you decide you want to shop with them. Box presentation on this, pretty solid cardboard box, and it is a very rectangular, long box presentation, but nothing too crazy about it. Just name of the fragrance right up front there, and it is a slide-off cover revealing our fragrance bottle. This is the most unique fragrance bottle that I've seen Lattafa do. It is sitting in this bed of sorts with this little middle piece that's kind of holding it in, that you can kind of lift off so you can get easier access to your fragrance bottle, and it does just kind of sit on that little stand there like so. So I'm gonna have to keep this handy because this is not going to sit on your shelf very easy. It is the dagger shape of that Khanjar. Am I pronouncing that right? Do I pronounce the K? Comment down below if I'm butchering that or not. But it is, you know, a nice design on it. It has a nice metal, you know, engravings that go on with it, some like jewels that are in the handle here. So nice looking bottle for where it is, but it's just a little bit awkward. It's gonna take up a lot of room on my shelf. And the atomizer on this bad boy, very, very nice. Nice long sprays, good distribution of that. So overall, for what they're trying to go for, I'll give them artistic points, but I don't know. This could take up a lot of shelf space, but not bad for 55 bucks. So if you're wondering what Lattafa's Niche Emarati Khanjar smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. This is really awkward to hold in my hand. Some of the notes listed in this are a ginger, nutmeg, pimento, cashmeran, patchouli, violet, frankincense, leather, musky notes, and vetiver. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you get that nice rich medley of those spices. The ginger comes through, nice fresh spicy pop to it. That pimento has this nice spicy, aromatic, kind of uplifting, energizing style of spice going on with it. And little hints of that nutmeg, but it's mostly that pimento with that fresh spicy ginger giving it that pop and giving it that liveliness. Really, like I said, bright, energizing, lively style of opening with those spices. Little hints of some violet, and there's also this nice kind of musky, suede leather that's just hiding in the background that's coming up from the base, making this just an absolutely beautiful opening on this. But it does transition quite a bit. As you get towards the mid, you get more of that musky, suede leather starting to come through. A little bit more of that incense pops its way in. The vetiver comes through, but not as a vetiver note necessarily, more of a texture. It gives it this dry, grassy feel, so it kind of dries this out a little bit and just adds to that spice profile. And that violet just softens things around the edges ever so slightly, so it's not an overly aggressively spicy or leathery or, you know, smoky style of fragrance. Balances things out really, really nice. This has a very classy, gentlemanly, sophisticated sort of feel going on to it, but it also has this kind of bad boy element at the same point. With those spices coming through and that leathery accord, it just has this little bit of edge, but like this mystique to it, this kind of gentlemanly mystique, and I quite enjoy that quite a bit. This has been compared to Ganymede. I have a couple Ganymede clones. I haven't smelt the original, so I can't compare it to that one, but comparing this to some Ganymede clones I have, this one is a little bit different. I find this when it gets to the dry down, it gets a lot darker and a lot richer than some of those other Ganymedes, and it's missing that kind of mineral note, but it's definitely in that neighborhood. Just for me, it's not quite there. But like I said, as you get to the dry down, this gets darker and more earthier. The incense seems to kind of just build and build as you get towards that dry down, and you get, like I said, that nice suede, leathery, musky note that comes through, wrapped with some nice incense, the texture from that vetiver. And those spices are there. They kind of tuck in a little bit behind at that point, and that nice soft floral violet just rounding things out ever so slightly. Beautiful scent accord. You can tell that this is a higher end quality Lattafa. Just has that richness, has that depth to it. From that opening to the dry down, it really takes you on a bit of a ride, and I do quite enjoy how that transition happens from the liveliness all the way down to kind of a dark, earthy style of scent DNA. Really, really enjoyable. The quality is definitely there. This is not going to be for everybody. This can be probably a bit of a challenging fragrance to some, but this is definitely a masculine style of fragrance that if you're a gentleman out there looking to kind of push the boundaries ever so slightly, this might be something you want to check out. So when it comes to the performance of Lattafa's Niche Emarati Khanjar, I get average, maybe a little bit above average performance off of this. First hour and a half worth of projection is beyond an arm's length. You get that ginger pimento, that aromatic, fresh spiciness that really does kind of waft off for that first hour and a half before it does settle back in. And off skin, I get about 6-7 hours worth of longevity before it does settle down into a skin scent. Get some on your clothing, you're definitely gonna push that out a lot longer. I did find that a day or two after I'd worn this on my clothing, I could still pick up those base notes that were in there. So it does last a decent amount off clothing, so you can push out the longevity by just getting a couple sprays on your shirt. But overall, I'd say this is an average performer. Like I said, maybe slightly above average, and overall, not disappointed. So when it comes to the where and when I think Lattafa's Niche Emarati Khanjar would be most appropriate, I think this is more of the fall spring sort of vibe going on to it. With those spices, that musky leather, that bit of frankincense that's mixed in there, just lends itself to those mild, moderate style of temperatures, especially to the fall with the earthiness that comes through, that style of that suede leather that comes through with those spices, just kind of hits that fall vibe. I think for the super high heat of the summer, this would be a little bit too much. I think this is too spicy. The leather, the earthiness that comes through in that base just might be too much for the high heat. Admittedly, I've not tried this in the high heat. I'm from Canada and it's not hot here yet. So you let me know down the road if you're wearing this in the summer how it does. But personally, I don't think this is gonna be a great summer fragrance. Fall and spring is where this is just gonna sing. Wintertime, I think it could push through the cold, but like I said, fall and spring, that's my vote. That's where I think this one should be probably worn the most. In terms of occasions, I think this, you could wear this casually, but this does have a bit of, like I said, a sophistication, a gentlemanly vibe, and a bit of a boldness to it. So, you know, kind of a dress up occasion, evening out, a little bit of a scene where you wanted to kind of give off a little bit of mystique, but also kind of a bad boy, gentlemanly kind of combination. That's where that is. I don't know where those parties are at, where what I just described. You let me know down in the comments. I wouldn't mind checking that out. Casually, you can pull this off casually. I don't see why not. I wouldn't wear this one to the office. This one might be a little bit challenging for the guy in the cubicle next to you. So be wary if you wear this to the office. Keep the sprays dialed down a little bit. You know, it smells nice, but if you were to blast someone with this, it would be maybe a little bit offensive. Definitely don't wear this to the gym. This is not a gym fragrance whatsoever. I would not recommend that. It'll be too much. But like I said, kind of a dress up occasion, a little bit of a fancier sort of style. That's where I think this one would shine. So my overall thoughts on Lattafa's Niche Emarati Khanjar is, I think this is a really nice fragrance. The Lattafa Niche Emarati line, I've tried this one and the Antique, and they're definitely going for that higher quality, richer style of fragrance, and I think they're doing a fantastic job of it. It definitely has that quality to it. This fragrance, I enjoy this one, but this is not going to be for everyone. Like I said, if you're into that kind of Ganymede style of DNA, this is in that neighborhood for sure. It's missing that mineral note, and I find this to be a little bit darker and a little bit earthier in that dry down. So there are differences, but there's definitely overlaps. It's in that neighborhood. But buyer beware, this is not like a dumb reach, you know, compliment beast of a fragrance necessarily. This is just got that little bit of a uniqueness to it that has that boldness, definitely has that masculinity, that mystique to it, but it's not gonna be for everybody for sure. Like I said, performance on this, average to above average, so I am quite pleased with that. And for a fall spring fragrance, I think this is going to be fantastic. So overall, I think for $55, me personally, I'm glad I have this in my collection, but you know, you do your own research, you decide for yourself, it's your money. But overall, I am quite pleased. That's Lattafa's Niche Emarati Khanjar. And I want to hear from you guys. What's another Lattafa Niche Emarati fragrance that I need to check out? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.